Well, good morning or good afternoon, depending on where you are in the United States of America or the world. Happy Saturday. Today we're going to talk about another video game adaptation. This one is a sequel to what is the most successful video game adaptation of all time, the Super Mario Brothers movie. So today we're going to talk about the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Let's get into it. Thank you so much for checking out the video. Before we get started, click on the red subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you know whenever I post a new piece of content. Successful video game adaptations that are turned into motion pictures have generally not been all that good. We have a trail of bodies that prove exactly that. Everything from Postal to Blood Rain, Alone in the Dark. Yes, I just named 3 Uwe Boll movies because he was known as video game guy for a long time. I thought Mortal Kombat, when they came out, was awesome. Not the 1990s one. I thought that one was okay. I think it's a little bit overblown, but I like the recent adaptation, and I loved the sequel that came out and I reviewed a couple weeks ago. I thought that was awesome and amazing. But the most financially successful adaptation was the Super Mario Brothers movie. That makes sense. This is a beloved character. It's Nintendo's golden boy. It's their most important IP. They've sold millions and millions and millions of copies of those video games over the course of my lifetime. Whether it's the original, the kind of redheaded stepchild, Super Mario Brothers 2, what I think might be the greatest Mario game, Super Mario Brothers 3, World, 64, we've had Sunshine, all of these amazing games. And the first movie was pretty good. It was obviously a great financial and fairly commercial success. I think people were a little bit surprised to see Charlie Day playing Luigi, and maybe even more surprised to have Chris Pratt playing Mario. That was definitely a little strange. Jack Black as Bowser hit it out of the park. He was great, probably the best part of that movie. And then it was kind of good. It was like an hour and a half. It was easy, it was simple, it was clean, it was family friendly. It was the type of movie that you take your kids to, and yet there's a lot of nostalgia there because people like me grew up in that era of video games, and we were gonna go see that movie at some point regardless because we all love Mario. Now here's the problem. Animated films are not made quickly. These are things where you have to get the story right the first time because you're spending a massive fortune on all of the CG horsepower to animate these films. It is not cheap. It is not easy. You have to get so much right before you even render a single frame. That includes the story and the characters. And the problem with the Mario Galaxy movie is that neither of those in this are particularly interesting. I understand that this is a movie where the target demographic is children, but I'm also somebody who should really enjoy this type of movie. I like the first one. I didn't love it. Nintendo seems to be doing some really unique and interesting things. And I think this movie is obviously designed to make a fortune, right? A company looks at $1 billion and they say, hey, we want more of that. The problem is there's only 3 years between that movie and this movie. And there's no like upgrade in terms of the story. I think this story is actually fairly weak. It's just kind of rehashing some of the ideas from the first movie, including I'd say better and like more kind of funny and engaging Bowser. Introducing Bowser Jr. is really funny. I think those two characters actually play off of each other really well. Bowser Jr. is like this complete and utter crazy psychopath who just wants to like impress his father. And Bowser was shrunk down at the end of the first movie. And maybe he's like softening towards the brothers a little bit, maybe he's not. And that kind of creates some of the tension of the movie. Apart from that, nothing about the princesses, and nothing about Mario and Luigi's relationship, or even Yoshi is all that interesting. Yoshi is just in this movie to be cute and charming, and for people to watch it and be like, oh cool, there's Yoshi. I remember him from these video games. And that's basically all. I wasn't particularly impressed with the story. It's just a chance for them to shove a bunch of cameos in the movie. I think we're clearly going to get a Star Fox spinoff at some point. It seems like that's where they're headed at this point. And this movie also made an ungodly amount of money. It didn't make as much as the first movie, but I think it stumbles fairly often. A lot of like these funny kind of inside jokes which run throughout the film are introduced and then completely abandoned for no reason. There's this running gag about how Luigi and Yoshi are giving Mario a hard time because he's clearly in love with Peach. And they make that joke like 2-3 times and then they completely abandon it. And they don't use it in like some pretty significant moments where they could use that humor again. I just feel like the script was so rushed because they were so desperate to get this movie out. Because again, dollar signs, can't say I'm all that surprised. If you're a kid though, you're gonna love this movie. I mean, if you have kids, this is a great movie for your kids to watch. I wouldn't discourage you from having them see this. It's super duper family friendly. And I think the movie does deserve a lot of credit for that. It could have tried to be a little bit more edgy, but that's just not the type of company Nintendo is. They're gonna double, triple, quadruple down on what works. There's some characters that I was interested to see were not in this film. You get like the bad guy from Mario Brothers 2 in here, but Donkey Kong is gone. There's some nods to him. No Diddy Kong, no Dixie Kong. But we have like the ghosts from Mario World. You have the Chain Chomps. You have the Bullet Bills. Those all come back. And then a bunch of critters that you would recognize from all the video games. It's just like cameo heaven if you like this type of thing. So I do worry that by doing so many different and grabbing so many different things from so many Mario games, they're just kind of like letting it all out there if they're going to make a sequel, which obviously they are. So yeah, that's what I thought of Mario Galaxy movie. The Galaxy, it's never really like fully embraced. They just kind of go to space because Bowser Jr. has a spaceship for reasons. But that aspect of it just isn't interesting either. A lot of ideas that show up and just are never fully fleshed out. So I think it's problems with the script. I think they really rushed to get this in place, and I understand it, but it doesn't make it a great movie. So that's what I thought of the Mario Galaxy movie. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I will see you next Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern.